Hello and welcome to the Beef and Barnzy channel. We're trying something different today. We are going to do a rundown of mine and Chris's Arsenals for the regional coming up this weekend. We're playing on the 44-foot Billy Hardwick pattern. So you can see the thought process that me and Chris have.
Yeah. Welcome. Ladies and gentlemen. It's a Beef and Barnzy show, telling all they know, bringing stories in the many years they were on the road. Couple laughs, all the good and bad memories bold.
Wait, Chris became a senior.
Yeah, he getting pretty old. Beef and Barnzy show, telling all they know, bringing stories in the many years they were on the road. Couple laughs, all the good and bad memories bold.
Wait, Chris became a senior.
Yeah, he getting pretty old.
So Chris, what is it that you do? What's your process for coming up with an Arsenal?
Well, the first thing I do, pretty much no matter what the pattern is my first 6 balls don't really change. So I'm covered no matter what. So I want to have a couple of balls for heavy oil. And so this is my heavy control ball. This is going to be my heavy angular ball. I have my benchmark ball, the middle control one. I have a medium angular ball, the Honey Badger Revival. And I should go through the names as we go. Then I go down to an angular, dry angular ball with the afterburner purple and a pin up, and then I do an afterburner also, but the blue one, and then a pin down as a dry control ball. So I have a heavy control, which is neon with 500. I have a volatility torque, which the surface is a little broke, it'd be closer to 1,000. I have 2,000 on an aspect, a symmetrical smooth ball, and then I have 2,000 will polish on my Revival, going down to polished balls with those afterburners for the drier conditions as they break down.
Okay, so you are a lot less emotional about bowling balls than I am. It's definitely looked like it's a more of a science, definitely, for what you're doing. I tend to, I have balls in groups. So let me just, I don't have quite as much space as Chris to have all of the balls out and ready. So I actually did just a little spreadsheet for it. And yeah, that's probably not zoomed in enough for most people to be able to see. So yeah, so let me, I guess this is the problem with doing these things. There we go. That was probably a little bit too much. Well, this isn't going well. Okay, so I tend to put balls in groups. Because I saw that the pattern was 44 feet, I tend to like, in my arsenal on longer patterns, I really favor asymmetrical balls because I tend to try to play a little straighter, and I feel like I can stay more up the back of the asymmetricals and have a little bit of pop down the lane. So the 3 kind of big balls for using, colloquialisms. I've got the UFO. Then I've got the Omega Crux, which I think comes off it quite nicely. And then the cleaner ball that I'm going to use in that group is the Nuclear Cell. And then I've kind of got my middle balls, the ones that I'd pretty much use on any pattern. So that's going to be an Axiom. I'm probably going to have the Axiom with a little bit of polish on it. And then phase 2, Idle. And of course, the new Rubicon, which is somewhat cheating in this group because I guess it is asymmetrical, but it's kind of small asymmetrical. And then the Pearl kind of quicker balls that I like, phase 3, High Road Pearl, Hustle Wrap. That's definitely going to be the one at the bottom of the bag. And then, of course, the Belmo Trend. Now, I feel like just from – this is where you need friends. I've never been to Fort Sill before. But in my experience of bowling on the military installations and the bases, there tends to be quite a lot of friction, just in general. So I'm kind of going with that assumption. And the fact that Pete's picked a 44-foot pattern tends to suggest that, because in general, it feels like we're playing a lot of medium kind of stuff in regionals. So would that be a good assumption, Chris, do you think?
In this case, generally, I'm not into sharing information with you at all, and but we are partners here. So the 2 other times I've bowled in Fort Sill, one, you are correct. There was some friction in the surface here. Both times it's been on a shorter pattern, which made them fairly tough, which leads me to believe that, yes, the track does have quite a bit of friction between 10 and 15, which will make this 44-footer probably play quite a bit easier than some of those short patterns did. And so I believe that's where it comes into play. So like I said, these are my 6 balls. I have 2 for heavy oil, 2 for medium oil, 2 for drier lanes, and an angular and a control ball in each of those sets. And then the more emotional part comes into play for me. Of course, I have a spare ball because I have yet to go through a tournament without using that one. Sometimes more successful than others. But then the other 2 balls I would take to fill in are going to be balls that I really just like. And since if we were on a short pattern, it might be another urethane ball or a ball that's kind of nichey. But in this case, I have a flux that Stu saw a lot of in the Weber Cup last year. This ball rolls pretty well on all the medium to longish patterns. And then I have a White Hot Badger, which is another ball that served me really well on a bunch of different patterns. Again, mostly medium and long. This one has 1,000 on it, so it's a cleaner cover than this volatility. Also asymmetrical, like Stu was talking about, to help me give it a little more pop. But it will get there a little easier because this one has a bigger engine in it and a bigger cover as well. So a little smaller plays off of it, and then the White Badger is obviously much cleaner, much flippier. We don't really know what we're going to bowl on for sure. So if they start hooking in the front and I need to create a lot of angle in a short amount of time, that White Badger's come and play for me quite a bit. So what I really try and do is get those 6 real base balls, then I'm covered. So I know I'm not going to see a pattern that I don't have anything for, and then fill in with more niche, 10%ers. In this case, they're actually big percentages. There's balls I like that fill in with some of the new balls. And so I know I'm covered, and they skew towards the pattern we're going here with that 44-footer. Probably going to be playing in a little bit, going to need some change of direction in the lane. And playing, a break point somewhere in the 10 range, 8 to 10 range down lane.
Yeah, definitely. Like I say, I think the way that you do it is very, it's very smart. I'll be honest. My problem is I'm very emotional with bowling balls, and I might shoot 750 in league the week before, and then that one's coming with me. She found a spot in my heart, and there we go. So that might be the phase 3 this week. I started off with a strong 282 in league with that last night. So that probably got it a space in the bag.
Was that with handicap?
No, it was the front 10 4-4.
Oh.
So I responded to a few people. I'd like to say that was the first time I'd done that, but it wasn't. If you were to hazard a guess, which balls, which would you say would be probably the 2 or 3 that you think are going to see the most play this week?
Well, on a 44-foot pattern, generally speaking, this heavy control ball will not be in play for me. If it is, it's very short at the very beginning. I think these 2 balls will be in play for me a lot. The medium control ball, maybe. And as much as I love this aspect, it probably won't be the one I end up using the most. I think we'll go from here, and then we'll go down to more balls like the 2 honey badgers, the Revival and the White Badger. I think those are the 4 I would say that are going to get the most play out of this group. If they really start to hook you, catch a squad with a lot of rev rate, I might get down maybe to this one. This ball probably has very little chance, as well as this, of really being in play. And I'd really like that black ball to stay in the bag the whole time. That's probably not the way it's going to work.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the only way that I'm going to use my UFO is if I find a way to be able to trick probably a little further right than I probably should be. And then having that ball that's like that bit slower but like strong. So if I miss right, it's not going to completely, take 3 off the right. So I feel like the UFO is a ball that I'm taking that I probably won't throw. But you don't want to get there and the lanes be like real slick and you don't have that one sort of option. So I feel like
and that's exactly what this is for. Just to cover the base. There's nothing worse than being shut out by the lane man.
especially when you've driven.
Yeah, there's no reason for it because you can put as many as you want in there. So.
Yeah. So then off that, I would say that the ball I would probably be looking to use the most on the fresh will be the Omega Crux. I feel like I can really manipulate my hand with that ball. I feel like when I can throw that one, especially on the longer patterns, I feel like it matches up really good. And then if there's that bit more friction like you're talking about, I feel like that Axiom might be another ball that's got a kind of a similar shape, but it's that symmetrical shape. So it's that bit more rounded. So that would be a good option. And then, so if I was to start with the Axiom, I see that I might, because I feel like those balls in the middle are much closer together. I feel like I might see a situation where I'd go like Axiom, then maybe into the idle, and then high road pill or trend to finish. If I start with the Omega Crux, with the asymmetrical balls, I feel like I probably won't change out of them as quickly because there's a bigger gap to the next ball. So I'd probably use the Omega for almost as long as I could get out of it. And then it'll be a bit of a fishing expedition as to whether it's the idle or, like I say, the high road pull late on. That's kind of the way that I think both of us see it with the balls. I kind of like the way you've set it up for most of the guys who want to put their equipment together. If you go through as many bowling balls as I do, it's, you kind of get into groups of balls, really. I'll have maybe that 5 and this 5. And, if this 5 over here works, whichever 5 it would be, that's great. But these 5 over here probably just aren't going to work and I don't need to worry about them.
Yeah.
That's kind of the way I've done it in the past. Like I say, me and Dom talk a lot about the way you have your 6 balls set up and you kind of travel everywhere with them. And we just don't have enough discipline to do that.
Well, it's been rumored that I'm somewhat emotional when I play sometimes. And so it also keeps things pretty simplified for me. I know this is my earliest hooking. This is my second earliest, then my third, fourth, fifth, and it just goes down the line. So if I start with the earliest rolling one that'll still go through the pins, when that stops working, the next step gets pretty sensical. And as you know, this whole system started when we went to Qatar. And they wouldn't tell us the whole pattern. They said it's 39 feet. I'm like, oh, okay. Bunch of balls, like you said, a grouping of balls. And I got there, and then we found out the lane machine broke in the Asian Games. And it was 39 feet and like 12 mils of oil in the lane.
Yep. I wasn't upset at all.
I was in the 5th frame of game 1, set 1, when I threw a blue dot for score. Not a lot of drilling options in Qatar for 16-pounders.
No.
You can imagine how that tournament went for me.
Mm-hmm.
And so since then, I would rather at least have one ball, no matter what I see, and miss out on maybe the perfect ball, than be somewhere like that again and have essentially no chance because either I didn't have a ball that would hook enough, or didn't have one that would go straight enough.
Okay, well, I think that's covered any of the bases. If any of you guys watching have any questions, put them in the comments. We'll be more than happy to answer. If you have any arsenals that you want us to look at, see where you've got some gaps, send us some pictures, and keep following the channel. Give us a like and a subscribe, and that'd be great.
And we'll do a follow-up on Tuesday. We can find out how wrong we really were.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Take care. See you later.